I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is May 6, 2022, and in this video I'm going to show off some giant fridge magnets I've been working on. I'm having a lot of fun with these. Okay, I've been going crazy over fridge magnets, and my wife is about to kill me. My daughter is seriously thinking about killing me because I'm making way too much mini fridge magnets for this upcoming conference. But I made some giant ones. Now these models are nothing that I could do. I'm not capable of making statues. I'm more mechanical minded. But this one is actually a 3D scan of the original Nefertiti out there, so that's pretty cool. And this one, I'll put it in the show notes, and I'll probably do it in the next section. I forget who it is, but he made this great statue, and all I did was kind of slice it and put some magnets in it. I've done a couple of things with this statue, and I think it's really cool. But we just made a giant one as a fridge magnet, but this actually has two magnets inside, one here and one here. Because it's so heavy, one's probably not going to do it. But two did pretty well. So there's that one. And there's Nefertiti, which I did in kind of a multicolored one. It prints out like that. This one did require some supports. It requires some supports under the ears. But that's it. And also the back of her neck, not really ideal. But also I'm not going to look back there very often, so I don't know if I really care much about that. You could put supports back here, but you know, I don't know if it's much of a problem. And this one has a magnet up here and a magnet in the bottom. But I think they're pretty cool. And with that, we can go stick them on the fridge. Boom. And they hold pretty good. You can take them off, but they're not coming off. I like them. Okay, with that, let's go over some of the details. Okay, let's go over some links first, then we'll go over some details. So first, the MOAI statue I use is actually by somebody else, but I cut it up. And it's actually done by Julian DaCosta over here on Cults 3D. And the version I'm using is from here. You can go download it from here. There is a version on Printables. I'm not sure. I think it's the same one. But this is where I did... Wait, I got that backwards. I downloaded the one from Printables, not from here, but I think they're the same file. But you got to be careful with that because sometimes the files don't open in OpenSCAD because there's some kind of error in them. So the one on Printables does work. The one here probably works, but I haven't tested that. The next one is the Nefertiti, which is on Cults 3D. I downloaded this one. This one works in OpenSCAD. The one that Prusa Research put out does not work in OpenSCAD. I couldn't pull it in and do what I wanted with it. So I actually had to get the original file. I shouldn't say original. This is actually a scan of the original Nefertiti bust out there. But this is the one I got that worked without adjustments. Then there's my MOAI fridge magnet, the giant one. There's a link to that. And all the links are in the show notes, so you can go find that. And there's a giant Nefertiti magnet there too. And then lastly, here are the magnets I'm using. So they're super strong, they're thick. The only downside is they're about $2.40 a piece, and you need two of them, so that kind of adds to the cost. But it's a pretty cool print. With that, now let's go over some of the details. So, the details. So, the MOAI magnet took 24 hours and 3 minutes to print. It took 19.2 cents worth of electricity, and it weighs 0.26 kilograms, but it has two magnets in it, each magnet weighing 0.024 kilograms. So in total, it actually is 0.212 kilograms, and at $20 per kilogram comes up to $4.24. Now you need to add back the price of the magnet, so $2.40 times 2 comes out to $4.80. So all in on this giant MOAI magnet is $8.48. A little bit more expensive print, but it's really, really cool. And then the Nefertiti. The Nefertiti magnet took 26 hours and 26 minutes to print. It took 22.4 cents of electricity. And again, it's kind of similar. It weighs 0.264 kilograms. You got to remove the battery weight, which actually comes out to 0.216 kilograms of filament. At $20 per kilogram comes out to $4.32. But then you have to add the magnet back in, 2 times $2.40, so $4.80 worth of magnets. All in, $9.12. So roughly you can think both of these will cost about $9 to print when you include the magnets. And with that, let me go over a couple extra things. One, if you're going to print the Nefertiti bust, and I kind of made it as big as I can get on the i3 Mark III, which if you have a mini, this is probably a little too big, but I'm going to put the OpenSCAD code out there, which I did not put links. Okay, I'll put links in the show note. I'll go stick them out there on GitHub right now. and I'll put links in the show notes for the OpenSCAD. I didn't put the OpenSCAD out on these models just because I think it would confuse people. But when you do this, the ears, like I showed you, the ears, you got to put supports for the ears, otherwise you're going to have problems. You might want to put some supports for the neck because it'll come out a little better, but overall I'm not too concerned about the back of the neck because you don't pay that much attention to it, but you better support those ears. And with that, let me go look at the OpenSCAD, and I'll remind myself I got to go put these on GitHub. And if for some reason I did not put a link on GitHub in the show notes, yell at me and I'll make sure to go put them up. Okay, but the basic idea is we're taking, this might be a little slow to render here, we're taking this Nefertiti bust and we're flipping it on its side. And then once we flip it on its side, we're kind of adjusting it down and then we're cutting it off. We're cutting that back of her crown off a little bit so we get that nice flat surface, and then we're adding the magnets back in. So I have this feature in here, if I go from false to true to split it, I can split it here, and you can see where the magnets go. So there's one back over here, and there's one over here. But with these magnets, it also gives you the capability, if you decide that you want more powerful magnets in there for some reason, or to change them, you can use the features in this OpenSCAD to move them around or to make more. Maybe you want to put 3. For this one, it works pretty good. For the MOAI statue, it's a little heavier, so maybe, well, it's not a little heavier. The MOAI statue might need more, but sticking to your fridge, these both hold pretty strong. Let me bring the MOAI statue in here. Boom. Same thing, MOAI statue. All I did was angle it over and then cut off the bottom. Cut off the bottom, and then we added magnets in, so I can say, set this to true, and we can see, boom. Now I did a smaller MOAI magnet, and that worked really well, but this one's so big you got to do 2. Now I would suggest not to put one at the bottom. As an engineering dweeb, because it's going to want to kind of push against. So it's better to have one at the top and kind of one a little lower than midway, and that'll probably hold pretty good. I mean, if you put one at the bottom, you're probably fine. But also, if you find, like using these on, for example, my whiteboard doesn't have a very thick metal, and it's got that whiteboard. So when I actually attach these to my whiteboard, they slowly slide down. So if you wanted to attach it to a real thin metal or have some more space in there, you might want to add more magnets, which you can do in the OpenSCAD. And if anyone's having issues with that, you can hit me up and I can probably show you how to do it. But as is, they're pretty great. And, well, one thing, if for some reason you have a print mess up, you can always go slice it open and get your magnets back. And I've had to do that sometimes. Now, these ones ran pretty good, but there's times when I made some smaller ones. They didn't work out so well. I didn't like what I did. So I just kind of used a saw, cut it open gently, got into the magnet and pulled it out, which took some time, but $2.40 is $2.40, and I hate to see those go to waste. I'm not gonna toss those out. And also, you know, these, well, we'll see how popular these big ones are at the conference. But fridge magnets in general are a great thing to show people, to give away, to make, maybe to sell. I have sold a few at the last conference, but everybody I've given a fridge magnet to, it's on their fridge still. So I haven't given a giant MOAI. Now, a giant magnet, that's got to be something someone really wants. So a smaller one, they're going to stick on their fridge. A big one, you know, a little more of a desired taste. But for a classroom, for someone who's really into this stuff, for someone who just came back from Egypt, they might be some really cool things. Anyway, I like them. They're cool. They're big. They're bold. And also, you might need to adjust these a little bit if you have a Prusa Mini to scale the size down. And in fact, if someone really wants to do this on a Prusa Mini, just put a note on here just requesting that, and maybe we'll do a video and show how to shrink these. That might be an interesting video. Take what we have and shrink them to fit on a Mini. So with all that, let's wrap this up with a reminder that 3D printing is an adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and knowledge and take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this. You can teach others, and you can make some amazing designs. So design it, engineer it. I'm working on a giant bolt and nut piggy bank. It's about as big as I can get on the Prusa i3 Mark III. I just got one test done to make sure the giant threads worked, and they do. It might be a while before I get this one up, get the video up on this, or even get it up on Printables, since I always want to print it out and test and make sure it works before posting it on Printables or doing a video. And it's probably going to take 2 to 3 days to print once I actually start printing. So it's a big monster, but I think it's going to be cool.